Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to look at this integral, the integral of the sine to the power 3 of x times cosine to the power 4 of x dx. Now remember, basically a product of powers of sine and cosine. Sine to the power 3 times cosine to the power 4 dx. Now in the previous video I looked at this one here, this integral. I looked at this integral in the previous video. Again, a product of powers of sine and cosine, but sine had an even power and cosine has an odd power. Now I promised you I was going to look at this one in this video. Now we have sine with an odd power, cosine with an even power. If you remember in the previous video I told you, you work on the odd power. So we're going to break this one down and then carry on from there as follows. So what we have now is the integral of sine power 3 of x times cosine power 4 of x dx. The approach is as follows. We break this one down to the following. Watch this, how I'm going to do this. This is the same as the integral of sine power 2 of x times cosine power 4 of x times sine of x dx. Notice that this one and that one will give you that one there. But I decided to put sine together with dx. You will see shortly why. And if you remember, I told you the way that you deal with this is by using this trig identity here. Sine squared of x plus cos squared of x is equal to 1. And if you want to make sine subject of formula here, you're going to have sine squared of x is equal to 1 minus cos squared of x. And this expression must come into that space. So we're saying that integral changes to the integral of, in brackets, 1 minus cos squared of x, and then multiply by cos power 4 of x times sine of x dx. Nice. Now distribute the cosine first. Cos power 4. What you have is the integral of, we have cos power 4 of x minus cos power 6 of x, and then we have sine x dx. Remember, when you're multiplying, the powers must add, and that's how I'm getting 6 there. Right, next distribute that and the integral. You're going to get the integral of cos power 4 of x times sine x dx minus the integral of cos power 6 of x times sine x dx. Like that. Nice. Now at this point we're going to use substitution, as you would imagine or guess. So now those two integrals will change as follows with u substitution. I'm gonna let this time u be equal to cos of x, and differentiating u with respect to x, du dx. Remember, derivative of cosine is minus sine. And then I almost said dx there, but we have dx on the left, so let me remove this one here. We're gonna have to multiply by dx both sides shortly. That must go. The correction fluid I'm having here is a little bit too fluid. Now I'm gonna have to multiply by dx on both sides. So what do we have? On the left we have du, on the right we have minus sine x dx. Now if you notice here, we have sine x dx there, sine x dx. We must get rid of the minus on the right hand side. So this means we have minus du is equal to sine x dx. Nice. Now those two integrals then will change as follows. We have the integral of, instead of cos power 4 x, we're just going to have u power 4. You can see from there, u power 4 will be cos power 4 of x. So that's u power 4. Instead of sine x dx, I'm going to have minus du, this expression here, times minus du. And then we have minus here, as you can see, minus the integral of, instead of cos power 6, I'm going to have u power 6. U power 6, and instead of sine x dx, I'm going to have minus du, like so. Now take the minus out. This is the same as the minus the integral of u power 4 du That minus will change that sign to plus, the integral of u power 6 du. Evaluating these two integrals, you'll agree with me that this is the same as minus u power 5 all over 5, and then we have to say plus u power 7 over 7, and I have to say plus c as our constant of integration. Now moving back, remember u is the same as cos, so we have to get rid of this, the u here, and replace them with cos, reverting to our original variable x. The solution, final solution will be as follows. To page 3, just to finish this off. Page 3, our final solution is going to be, remember what I told you, where I see u, I must put cos. So that changes as follows then. This final solution will change as follows. We're going to have minus 1 over 5 cos power 5 of x plus 1 over 7 cos power 7 of x plus c. Some people prefer to have that first, so you can rewrite this for no any extra mark. 1 over 7 cos power 7 of x minus 1 over 5 cos power 5 of x, and then plus c as your final solution. Or this one here, it doesn't matter where you stop. Right, I am going to stop here in this video. Now notice now that we have been dealing with a product of powers of sine and cosine, where one power is an odd number, the other power is an even number. My question is, what if both powers are even? What if both powers are even? So that takes us to what I'm going to be working on in my next video. This expression, this integral here. I invite you to attempt these integrals before you actually watch the video. So attempt this one. In my next video, I'm going to be treating this one. All right, see you next time.